Drake is filing a petition against Universal Music Group and Spotify
to find out if Universal Music Group artificially boosted the popularity of Kendrick's hit diss track, Not Like Us.
It started like any other rap beef. Diss tracks, social media debates, fans picking sides.
Donkey of the Day for Monday, December 2nd goes to Aubrey Drake Grainge.
In the lawsuit, he says that the song is filled with inflammatory and shocking allegations.
But what if something bigger was happening? Something worth billions.
Imagine if Ja Rule sued you guys for all your diss records.
Yeah, we would have been looking crazy.
You filed legal action saying Kendrick used bots.
And what happens when things go too far?
A security guard working outside the home of rapper Drake was struck by a bullet fired from a passing car.
one of the largest music labels in the world.
Sir Lucian Grainge, the CEO and chairman of Universal Music Group.
We're basically conspiring against him to promote this diss track.
He's alleging that their promotion of a song by another rapper may have led to the violent incident.
But the real question, does Drake have a case?
Drake is who everybody thinks Kendrick is.
They did everything Drake saying they did.
To find out, we have to follow the money. If you like this content, then please do consider subscribing and interacting with the video, because apparently it helps to boost the channel and I need it. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers, so feel free to subscribe. Enjoy. Every day, at least 60,000 songs are uploaded to Spotify alone. And in this ocean of music, only one company has the power to guarantee what consumers listen to. A company so powerful that after pulling its music from TikTok, it removed 60% of all popular music globally. What makes UMG unique isn't just its size, it's its structure. Each division operates like its own kingdom, competing against others for bonuses, market share, revenue, and power. But in 2024, this internal competition would spark a chain of events and shock the industry. And it all started with a beef between two of the biggest names in hip-hop.
I'm Drake. This is XQC, real streaming legend. Me, I do music, in case you didn't know.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
You've got Drake at Republic Records generating billions in revenue, and Kendrick Lamar at Interscope, who they desperately wanted to keep. Both labels answer to UMG, but both are fighting for their own interest. Each division inside UMG operates like a separate kingdom. The executives running Republic and Interscope aren't just competing for chart dominance, they're competing because at UMG, your bonus depends on it. According to Drake's lawsuit, Interscope CEO John Janik's annual bonus is structured so that 90% is based on Interscope's performance, while only 10% is tied to UMG's overall success. So what happens when you can boost your own division by damaging another? Well, that's where ethics meet economics. Think of UMG like a military operation. Each division has its own lieutenants, its own territory, its own war chest, but they all answer to the same general. And when billions are at stake, that's when the real warfare begins. The battlefield are the algorithms, the playlists that decide what music we listen to. The weapons are the bots and the artificial streaming numbers. And in early 2024, UMG's internal competition reached breaking point. You see, Interscope had just signed Kendrick Lamar to a short-term deal, and to keep him, they needed to prove their worth. Meanwhile, Republic were in negotiations to extend the contract of one of their biggest stars.
Drake confirmed exclusively to me that his deal with Republic, it's like giving Drake his own management or like production company. So basically UMG wants to fund anything that Drake wants to do. They're down to just give him a blank check to be like, yo, just write the budget here and we'll pay for it.
The streaming era changed everything. For the first time, artists had the power to demand massive deals, and UMG knew that renewing Drake's $400 million contract wouldn't come cheap. Unless, of course, something tipped the balance in their favor. It began like any other rap beef. Push-ups, tailor-made, both diss tracks aimed at Kendrick Lamar. And if history was any indication, Drake was expected to win.
Drake is smashing this man. He's punishing this He's out-rapping this It's not even close. The music is way better. The visual is way better.
I like this. I like this, bro.
You see, Drake had been here before with Meek Mill and Pusha T, and to his fans, he'd always come out on top. But then Kendrick released Euphoria, and everything changed.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a drill. He really responded.
Kendrick knows what he's doing. We have the definition of euphoria. Why? Because Kendrick is like, you've been on a high. I'm about to bring you back down to earth.
Kendrick, to me, has beaten Drake to every punch, right?
He said, I make music that electrify him.
You make music that pacify them.
You give them what they want to hear, not what they need to hear.
Yo, he's sunning you right now, bro. He's sunning you, bringing your pops in it. He bringing hip pops in it.
Oh no, Kendrick, please.
Then on the 4th of May, things got even worse. But this wasn't just another diss track. Not Like Us wasn't just a response, it was an event. It shattered every streaming record, but the numbers didn't tell the whole story. The allegations in this track, they weren't just about music, and according to the lawsuit, UMG knew exactly what they were doing. With every stream, with every play, with every share. The song played everywhere, from NBA games to MLB games. It was even used in political rallies. You see, everything from the lyrics even down to the artwork of Drake's house used to promote the song was damaging.
Depending on the color, it tells you what offense the sexual predator that lives there did. So if it's red, it's an offense against a child. And that's where the offender lives.
For the first time, a diss track would become evidence in a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit. And just 3 days after the release of Not Like Us, Kendrick's allegations would have their first real-world consequences.
An investigation is underway after a security guard was shot outside rapper Drake's Canadian home. It comes just days after his very public feud with rapper Kendrick Lamar. But at this point, police say it's unclear if the shooting had anything to do with their beef.
From Drake's perspective, this was about more than just destruction. And UMG, according to his lawsuit, they weren't just watching from the sidelines. Allegedly, they were pulling strings behind the scenes. January 15th, 2025. An 81-page lawsuit lands on the desk of the Southern District Court of New York. But this wasn't the lawsuit people expected. He's suing UMG. And when you read the detail, it's explosive. Essentially, Drake is saying, follow the money. But why would the world's largest music company deliberately damage one of its biggest stars? The answer lies in what Drake's legal team are calling the 3 pillars of UMG's strategy. Leverage. Consider the music industry as a high-stakes poker game. Drake's existing $400 million deal is like holding a winning hand. But as the deal nears its end in 2025, UMG allegedly attempts to undermine his position, weakening his negotiating strength for a new contract. Now, Drake's side argue that UMG intentionally devised this strategy to lower his bargaining power for contract negotiations. Kendrick. In 2023, Kendrick Lamar signed his short-term deal with Interscope. Drake's lawsuit claims this deal pressured Interscope to rapidly prove their value, the aim to secure Kendrick's long-term commitment, and so allegedly targeting UMG's top artist, who just happens to be Kendrick's rival, became their strategy. Bonus structure. Now bear in mind, as per the suit, UMG's bonus structure encourages executives to prioritize divisional success, even when at the expense of other artists from UMG's companies. And the evidence suggests that UMG lifted copyright restrictions, made covert payments to radio stations, and bought roughly 30 million fake streams, all to push the song's popularity. And if these allegations are proven to be true, well, it wouldn't be the first time. By early 2025, Not Like Us reached 1 billion streams on Spotify. And in the very same industry that Drake claimed was weaponized against him, Kendrick was winning on the biggest stages.
The Grammy goes to Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar.
What's up with it?
Winning 5 Grammys in one night. The best 12 months of his career. And just a few days later, UMG's investment in Kendrick reached the biggest stage yet.
Grammy Award winner Kendrick Lamar is set to pop out on the NFL's biggest stage. Lamar is now the only rap artist to ever solo headline the Super Bowl.
In less than 12 months, Kendrick had won 5 Grammys, had a #1 single, achieved over 100 million listeners on Spotify, and became the first solo hip-hop act to perform at the Super Bowl. From a gunshot in Toronto to a courtroom in New York, this story reveals a simple truth. The question isn't whether Drake can win this fight. The question is, can anybody challenge a company that could turn art into a weapon? What makes this case unprecedented isn't just the billions at stake, is that for the first time we're seeing inside the machine how the largest music company in the world operates when it turns against one of its own. This is about power. Who really controls music in the streaming age? The artists who make it? Or the companies that can manipulate how we hear it? The shooting at Drake's home wasn't just about a rap battle gone wrong. It was the moment the music industry's darkest secrets spilled into the real world. As this case moves forward, one question remains. In an industry built on making hits, What happens when the biggest hit is the truth?